Active Investor here, bringing you another independent analysis. This time we're taking a look at ticker symbol PRGN, that's Paragon Shipping. The chart we have today is a 5-minute chart, each candlestick representing 5 minutes of trading. The reason we're looking at such a short range of trading is because we're just focusing entirely on what happened today. This chart is only what occurred today. That's May 19th, Thursday. So the reason why we're focusing on this chart specifically, only this chart of Thursday's action, is because we had a huge increase in price. You can see here the low of the day was $1.06, and our high of the day was right around $2 on the money, almost a 100% increase from the low to that high. Absolutely crazy day for Paragon Shipping. Now what's interesting is you can see that the first two 5-minute candles of the day, that means the first 10 minutes of the day, our volume was super low. The volume are these blue bars here, just in case you don't know. These blue bars, that's all the volume of the day. So the volume here is super low, and then about 15 minutes into the trading period, the volume just all came in at once. This thing was pumped up big time from $1.14 to $1.54, broke that resistance, tested 177, broke that resistance, tested 190, broke it for a little bit, and then it broke down. Why am I mentioning those levels specifically? Well, if you take a look here, 190, 177, 154, 114, those are the pivot points that I have for this intraday trading today on Paragon Shipping. So 190 right here, 177 here, 154 here, and 114 here. So these pivot points are areas of support that turn to resistance or resistance that turns to support, vice versa. That's how we get these pivot points. So that can give us a potential play tomorrow, depending on the price action after hours and pre-market. If it stays in this trading range, these are all potential entry points. All those pivot points are potential entry points that I'd be looking for another play tomorrow. But let's kind of just see what happened on the chart today. So we had that initial run up in price, almost doubling, almost 100% run. And you can see here, the cloud was really thin all along here. Pretty much half the trading day, the cloud was super thin, and we had a lot of space between the cloud and our candles. What that signifies is that the uptrend was super strong. When we have a lot of space between the cloud and the candles, that means the uptrend is super strong. The cloud can act as support in itself, but the Tenkan and Kaijin line, that blue and orange line, can also act as trailing support. But the fact that the cloud acts as support and the fact that we had such a huge amount of space between the cloud can only mean one thing, that we had a very sharp increase in price in a very short amount of time, which is exactly what happened here at Paragon Shipping. So we had that high at about $199. That's where we had that first test of $2. But 190 was resistance on the 1-minute chart. These are 5-minute candles, remember, and on the 1-minute chart, this thing was testing it quite a bit here as resistance. So 190 is a pivot point. We were denied here. We couldn't hold 190 as support, and we couldn't break above $2. So we fell back down to our next level at 177. 177 also couldn't hold. We fell back to 154, literally bounced off it here on that candle, went above, tested 177 again, but that time as resistance, 154 support, and then we kind of just channeled. Now, if you take a look, right when that happened, halfway through the day pretty much, our cloud actually caught up to our candles. And just like I mentioned earlier in this video, the cloud can occasionally act as support, and right here it did. You can see the price, the candles were literally bouncing off the cloud all along here before finally breaking into the cloud here. Now what that indicates is that we could have seen this become a channel between 177 and 154. It was channeling for a bit here, but once it broke into the cloud, that channel can become significantly stronger. Now what's interesting is that didn't quite happen on Paragon Shipping. We channeled for about 45 minutes here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 minutes. And then we broke up through the cloud. We didn't channel too long at all, not even an hour, before we retested 190. But we couldn't break 190 here. We couldn't break $2 here. We were denied at $2, just like we were denied here. So you could say that we formed a double top. Now, double top is a bearish reversal sign, and we usually do see a very steady decrease in price after a double or triple top, because that's usually a heavy reversal. Now, what happened here is we did get a reversal, but we tested an area of around 165 from about 195. So that is a huge decrease in price, but when you compare it to the low of the day at $1.06, we really did not get denied all that hard, really. We could have came back and tested 154, we could have came back and tested 114, but that's not what happened. We broke down from 177, but we went back up from 177 and turned into support once again, tested 190, but got denied as resistance. So right now, based on this data that we have, not the after hours data, just the data that we have during the trading period, we have a channel between 190 and 177. Now, once again, depending on the after hours and pre-market, let's assume that it stays in this range, around 190 and 177. What that means is tomorrow, if you're looking to play this tomorrow and you think it's going to have another chance of testing $2, you can either look for a break of 190 or a dip to 177. If it dips to 177, you can potentially enter there with the tight stop loss just in case that support doesn't hold. But if that support holds, you got a great entry, and at least you'll probably get to 190, if not $2 and above. That's personally what I'm probably going to be doing. Depending on how bullish the chart looks in the pre-market, I'll consider an entry at 177, and I'll have a stop loss really close below that, because if that support doesn't hold, I don't want to get out at 154. That's a pretty significant loss. And if 154 doesn't hold, 114 is a very significant loss. So I'll get in at 177 with a tight stop. If the support holds, I might get out at 190 for a scalp, but if things are looking really bullish and we break 190, I think we can test $2. And I'll look for an exit around 198, just to be safe. You don't always test the $2 mark on the money. We might test 197, 198, 199, and that's still a really nice profit from 177. I'd gladly take those profits. That's just my personal plan for tomorrow. We all have our own trading strategies. So if you guys have a different strategy in mind, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But for the fact that we had a double top and we didn't really get denied that hard, I think there's still room to run tomorrow. Of course, depends on the pre-market, but we'll see how that plays out. The only thing to watch out for is that it's a Friday, and Fridays are generally less volume than the rest of the trading week. So there's a chance that we don't see a run on Paragon tomorrow. And if that happens, we don't have to touch it. But if it looks good, we can absolutely look for an entrance around those pivot points, and a swing to 190 or $2 might be a pretty nice swing there. Not as nice as 114 to 190, but you got to take what you can get in this market. With that said, I hope this video helped you guys out. I think there's one last thing to cover actually before I end this video. I almost forgot. The relative strength index. Let's take a look at our oversold points and where the candles closed. So we went oversold here and we went oversold here. This oversold point was only slightly higher, so that indicates that in this area the uptrend wasn't that much stronger in comparison to when it was down here, and confirming that is the fact that we kind of remained in this channel the entire time. So the RSI could look better, but the chart overall is still pretty bullish. We had our higher lows, then we kind of consolidated down, but once again we had some higher lows. You know, we dropped off there a little bit, but it's making higher lows again. Not the greatest looking chart, but still a bullish looking chart. So I think there's a potential play tomorrow. Anyways, guys, that's the last thing I have to say. I'm going to wrap this video up now. Hope that helped you guys out. Any comments, please leave a comment below. I'll check that out and get back to you. With that said, have a great day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care.